So one of the biggest things you want to look for when you are buying someone else's project car, specifically a K-Swap Civic, is the parts that they've chosen to put in the car. You know, stuff like, there's a lot of parts that go into this, stuff like engine mounts. These are Chinese ones, so that's fine. You know, essentially when you're looking at buying the car, you want to look at things that you're going to keep and not want to replace. And now I think about it, some stuff that I am going to be replacing are stuff like the shifter cables, probably the shifter assembly at some point, just because it's Chinese and it's not that great. Like it's just cheap stuff. Coilovers are alright. I probably would have bought them, like maybe gotten better ones, I don't know. So yeah. So another problem you want to watch out for when buying someone else's project car is the maintenance items done on the car, and stuff like leaks. Now in this case, when I bought this thing, it barely had any oil in it, which I kind of overlooked for a couple of days, and luckily it wasn't too low. It was at the bottom of the dipstick, so I fixed that. Another thing was it had an old oil filter on it, like a really old one. I have no idea what was going on there, but I've replaced it with a new one because the other day it actually blew the oil filter and the seal was pissing out oil all over the road. So luckily I had that all ready to go. It's had a service, fresh oil change, it's filled up now and all good to go. Also, when you do get another project car, you do want to go ahead and check stuff like your coolant. This was also low. Power steering, that was low as well. You know, check all your fluids and stuff like that to make sure that nothing, you know, breaks. On that topic is, we've got another thing that you want to look for, and that's oil leaks and just general leaks. Back here, I've actually got a pretty bad oil leak on the back of the rocker cover. You can see right down here, it's accumulating oil just in that little puddle there, which I'm pretty sure is just off the back of the rocker cover here. So I'm going to need to get a new rocker cover gasket, and that should fix stuff up and stop some leaks. Now another problem I've kind of experienced with this car is when you buy someone else's project car, you want to go ahead and do an inspection on the whole car and check that it has everything tight. Major things like wheels, you want to check they're tight. I didn't do that actually. This is funny. Yeah, I thought the car was stuffed when I got it. It had weird vibrations or wobbles. Yeah, the wheels were loose, so you want to check that 100%. But I'd recommend jacking the car up, popping the wheel off, and checking suspension bolts. Make sure they're nice and tight. And then stuff like, you know, your intake, this is loose, and stuff like engine mounts. You just want to check that everything's tight, all the important stuff, because there's a good chance that if it's especially like this, where it's kind of an unfinished project, there could be loose bolts and stuff that are really important that need to be tightened up. So that's one other thing I've experienced. When I bought this, I expected there to be problems, and I had absolutely no doubt that there were going to be problems. So when you're going to be buying someone's first project car, and especially a K-Swap Civic, there's heaps of problems that can go along with this. It's because there's so much stuff that's getting changed, there's so much new stuff. So you want to expect problems, but you also want to know, you want to make sure major stuff is okay with the car. When I bought this, I knew the engine would be completely fine, and then stuff like the gearbox shifted and the clutch works. That's all big ticket stuff that you don't really want to try and fix. Smaller stuff like the shifter, you did want to, I was willing to fix it, and that's fine. As you can see, I bought a new shifter for it. This is just a bit of an extension off of AliExpress. It was like 15 bucks. It just moves the shifter into a nicer spot, because with these K-Swap shifters, with the drop down plate, they're actually pretty low, and they're also a bit stiff, so you get a bit more leverage on it. But now it shifts very, very nice. Now, another interesting thing with this is you actually want to go ahead and make sure all of the components on the shifter assembly are tight, which is what I had to do. I'll try and lift it off here for you. Oh, I won't actually. But one of the problems I did have actually is the shifter cable disconnected from the bottom of the shifter when I was driving home, picking up some parts. And so I was kind of stranded for a bit until I managed to pop it back on and fix it. So the shifter is, yeah, not great, I will admit. It's just an eBay one. So that was another problem I experienced. And then obviously the shifter cable was being dodgy. I've had some problems with the ECU at the moment, where I've loaded in the tune and it's not flashed it to the ECU, and then it doesn't want to start without the laptop plugged in, and then the RPM gauge being off, and the speedo not working. Some stuff like that that's just small and annoying that need to be fixed, which I am slowly getting around to. Let's see what else. So we come down here, you can see these are, I think they're Honda Jazz alloy wheels, 14, oh no, they're 15 inch. The guy put these on there because he wanted to take his other wheels off and keep them for his other cars. So he just got these, and these actually hit, I think this is the inner tie rod, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, when you turn on full lock, which is just crap because it makes this noise, it scrapes, it binds up, and that's how I actually popped the power steering line the first couple of days I got it. Wheel spaces. Just flipped around the tie rod ends. Before we had the right one on the left and the left one on the right. As you can see, it's grinding. Full lock on the wheel. So I'm gonna have to get some spacers or new wheels. I haven't decided yet what to do with that. It's another problem I've had. You know, the exhaust wasn't connected when I bought it. Yeah, there's been lots of small things like that that have needed to be fixed, which is expected when you are buying a project car. Little things like vacuum lines are most likely not run because it's kind of something you do at the end. You know, some other little things like that.